Mayoral Memo with Matthew Dickerson from Dubbo Regional Council.
Well, word reached us late last week that Dubbo might be having a little bit of a problem in some parts of their city with their water, and we knew just the man to talk to. We welcome to the program the Dubbo Mayor, Matthew Dickerson. Good afternoon.
Janine, good to be chatting to you.
Lovely to be chatting with you. Now tell us what's happening with the water up there in some parts of town.
Well, nothing that I know of officially, only this chat, Janine. We have Australian drinking water guidelines. We've got to deliver the water within those guidelines. We test for a whole range of things. We test for E. coli, we test for arsenic and lead and nitrate and copper and chlorine levels and pesticides and so many different things we test for. Turbidity is something that we've actually decreased the testing parameter for turbidity. So it used to be above a level of 1 was considered bad. We've dropped that to 0.5. So that's now a tougher test for us to pass. pH, we've got to make sure the pH is between 6.5 and 8.5. There's a range of things we test for. They're either constantly monitored or we do constant regular testing. And again, the water that comes out of our water treatment plant, it's got to be delivered to all of these various guidelines. And keep in mind that delivering water is a public health access. So the National Health and Medical Research Council and the National Resource Management Ministerial Council designed those Australian drinking water guidelines, because if we get it wrong, we can make a lot of people in our community sick. So it's pretty important we get it right.
Absolutely. Now, there is a natural compound called geosmin. Tell us about this, because it is found in some water sources, including the Macquarie River.
Yeah, so it's basically a natural compound. It's not harmful in small quantities, but it does give a particular taste and odour. When you get to above 10 parts per trillion for geosmin, then that's when people can start to detect the smell and detect the taste. We do test for that, but again, it's not something that, in terms of public health or safety issue, it's not going to cause any harm for people, but it might smell a bit unpleasant. But still, from our testing, we're still below that 10 parts per trillion, so we don't see any issue with that as we're delivering our water out at the moment as it stands.
Now, I certainly know too that there are some issues where people have old gal pipes in their house, and I know from personal experience that they can turn your water brown, very brown indeed.
One of the things that we've got, one of the issues we've got, Janine, is that we're constantly testing the water that's coming out of our water treatment plant. It's then delivered along pipes that we're responsible for. And then once it gets to the meter of someone's house, that's where we've got to make sure the water quality is at the correct or matches the guidelines. After it goes past there, we can't be responsible for it because, as you said in your example, it's your own pipes, it's your house. We don't come in and do the testing at each of the taps in your house. Having said that, we always say to people, if you think you've got an issue, if you think you've got a problem, contact council. You can go through a process. In the last year, Janine, we've had 33 of our 56,720 residents that have actually contacted council and said, I think there's a problem with our water. Can you come and test it? So we have done that. We've tested it. All 33 have actually conformed to the Australian Drinking Water Guidelines. But again, we're happy to do that and provide that service to people if they think there is an issue with their water.
You can't do much more than that, Mayor. Thank you very much for joining us and for clearing that up for us, no pun intended.
Very good. Thanks, Janine. Good to chat.
Do appreciate it. Matthew Dickerson there, the Mayor of Dubbo, so constantly testing the water, and you can't do much better than an invitation to give the council a call and they'll come and check it out if you're in the Dubbo area.
Mayoral Memo with Matthew Dickerson from Dubbo Regional Council.